Alright guys, ready to do the second part of my review on the Maxpedition Mongo Versipack. I went over on the first video the outside of the pack, the outside of the features. For those of you that maybe haven't seen the first part, I'll just kind of go through and kind of do just a general overview of the outside of it. I won't really go over too much of it in detail. But I did kind of realize that after I went back and looked at the first video that my review of this part of the pack here didn't really come out the way I wanted it to. When I was kind of trying to go through it, it kind of got cut out of the camera field of vision while I was going over it. So I wanted to kind of go over it a little bit more with you guys to kind of clarify it. It didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to on that part of it, but rather than redo the video, I'm just going to kind of go over this part real quick. As I mentioned in the first video, this is a right-handed carry for me, so when I carry this, it's on my right-hand side. So this portion of the strap and this portion of the bag is to the back as I'm carrying it. And wanted to kind of go over this part, this little pocket right here. Right behind this pouch that I have put on here, there is a pocket in here that didn't show up real well in the first video. And what I stuck in here is just a multi-tool, just to kind of show you a relative size of what this will kind of hold. I don't normally keep a multi-tool in here, but this is just kind of a small little pocket that you can put something like a multi-tool or a pocket knife or a flashlight in there if you want, just as a means of having an extra little pocket to put something in. But like I said, it didn't come out real well in the first video, so I wanted to kind of clarify it. So hopefully you kind of get a little better idea what that looks like now after kind of going over it again. Getting back to the main purpose of this video, which is to go over the inside. As I mentioned, has a nice high quality side release buckle that opens. Throw the flap back. This is kind of what the inside looks like. There is a main pouch here that has a sleeve on the outside. You can kind of get some idea of the size of that. The sleeve does extend all the way down. This is some of that moly webbing that I showed in the first video. Nice little place to organize a few things. You know, you're not going to be able to get anything real bulky in here, but some thinner, smaller type of items will go in there pretty nice. Has a Velcro loop field. Not sure if you can see it real well because it being that it's black and everything, but that gives you some idea of the length of it, and then it extends all the way down to here, down to the bottom of the pouch. So it's a fairly decent sized loop field. I don't know the exact dimensions of it, but I know that Maxpedition has a few admin pouches, utility type pouches that have some Velcro hook on the back that you can attach to these loop fields and kind of organize your stuff, you know, in a little different manner. The main pouch itself is double zippered. It goes either way. I don't know if you can really tell, but it goes down about, the zippers go down about halfway. So kind of fold this flat back a little bit so you guys can kind of see what it looks like on the inside. I just have a little everyday carry organizer type of thing that I keep some pens and pencils in. But just to give you some idea what this looks like on the inside, there's another Velcro loop field in here. Again, gives you some idea of the length of it, and then this does extend all the way down to the bottom of the pack. And then there's a sleeve on this side. You can kind of stick a few things down in there. And then right in the middle of the sleeve, right in the middle of the pouch, there's this keeper, key keeper, which I have some differing opinions about. I guess it's fine if they want to put a keeper in here. I would have liked to have seen it maybe down one of the ends where it's kind of out of the way. I have a tendency to not really use these very much, so what I'll probably end up doing at some point maybe is just cutting that off, because it just seems kind of like an awkward place for it if you ask me. But that's kind of the main pouch just underneath the flap here. Again, the double zippers, zip them up however you'd like. Right behind this pouch, main pouch here, there's another zippered sleeve or pouch. Now it only has one zipper and it only goes one way. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this real well, but it does contain a sleeve. And it does contain another Velcro loop field that from the inside of this pouch is on this side of the pouch, and on the back end here is just all nylon. So there's another Velcro loop field on the inside. Right there, again, you know, another attachment point for some other things if you want to close that up. Getting to the main compartment, there is a storm collar on here, kind of a nylon string. This isn't really paracord. Kind of a nylon string. It's got a cord lock on it. You can release that, open up. The storm collar opens up basically to the size of the pack. It's basically kind of an extension of the pack that cinches down when you got it pulled. So I'm going to go over kind of try to give you some idea of the size of this a little bit by the kind of stuff I have in here. I have an FR1 pouch in here. This is another Maxpedition product. Some of you may be seeing this. I just have some smaller gear that I kind of keep in here just as a means to kind of keep it organized. And then on the inside, just for demonstration purposes, I don't normally carry this stuff around with me, but I have a this is more of a catalog, but it's a kind of a standard size magazine that will fit in the pack this way. It fits actually fairly well in that fashion. It's even got a little bit of play when it's in there on the side. It will not fit this direction. As you can see, this is the top of the pack, and this kind of sticks up above the pack. I mean, you could probably get it in there with the storm collar and everything, but then once you put the flap over it, it will be kind of scrunched down in there a little bit. So that gives you some idea of you know, kind of the compartment and the size. You can get, you know, a number of magazines in there, or pads of paper, you know, whatever you feel like you need to get in there. So that fits in there pretty well that way. And then I know sometimes people have questions about computers, so this is a 13-inch iBook that we don't really use anymore, but it fits in there just about perfect, and it's 11 inches this way and 9 inches this way. So it is about as snug as you can get it in there, especially this way, and then as you can see, the top of the pack is about right there. Anything bigger than this, a computer that's larger than this, longer than this, taller than this, is not going to fit in there. And it's not really designed to be a computer briefcase or an attaché. There's not really a lot of padding in here. There's not really a way to secure it in here. So, you know, you're kind of at your own risk for putting a computer in here. I imagine that there's maybe some ways that you could kind of stabilize it in there, secure it in there, but I don't really use it for that. I just wanted to put that in there to give you guys some idea of what the size was. And as for the main compartment itself, fairly decent size. Basically just an open area. There is a sleeve on the back here. Not sure if you can see it very well, but the one nice thing about this is that on the inside of this is they did put some of it, and I don't know if you can kind of see it, but they did put some of it as kind of a gray color to kind of, you know, to kind of be able to give a little bit of better visibility when you're looking in here and stuff like that. So, but anyway, then looking at it from the side, you can get some idea of kind of the width of that compartment. So, anyway, all in all, if you're interested in one of these, Maxpedition.com of course has them. And I got this one from eBay. I believe this one was about 120, 130 bucks. You know, do a search for it. You can probably find any number of retailers that will carry it. But like I said, wanted to give a general overview of it. I like it so far. It's been working pretty well for me. So I wanted to kind of go over in detail with you guys a little bit. So till next time, thanks for watching.